we see that you work hard. I mean, that was never the problem. It was just inefficiency.
He expects me to go on the treadmill 3 miles a day. Like, who has the time for that?
It's an hour, buddy. An hour. Let's talk about what you think would work. Why are you looking at me like that? We're exposing too much.
Yes.
So parents, there's nothing you can do to change the child. You change yourself.
Welcome to Parenting Untapped by Ali Talks. Join my father and I as we dive into the mind of a teenager and discover what it takes to build a strong, effective relationship with your teen.
Welcome to the very first episode of Parenting Untapped. I'm Ali, your host, and this is my father, Tony, your co-host. So why are we doing this podcast? I thought it'd be pretty fun to do something like this together to strengthen our bond, but most importantly, we wanted to offer parenting advice from a teenage perspective. Our podcast will cover everything from screen time, grounding, academic pressures, dating, all of it. You name it. We're going to be talking about what works and what definitely doesn't work from our family experiences.
Because the truth is, no matter how many books you read or podcasts you watch, nothing truly prepares you for parenting. As a father of two and someone who has ran multiple businesses, I can honestly say that raising a child is the toughest of them all, especially if you have a teenager. So hopefully in this podcast, I'm going to learn just as much as you do. All right, so let's get into it. Episode 1 is going to be about screen time struggle. I'm sure this is a common issue in most households. I know we've dealt with a lot through the years. Let's talk about all of our struggles.
Yeah, so I've been grounded a lot throughout the years. I think basically ever since I had a phone.
Which is probably too early. What is that? Middle school?
Elementary. Yeah, I had an iPhone
Wow.
in elementary, yeah.
Now I'm embarrassed I gave you the phone this early.
But yeah, and so I think you guys did a lot of screen time limiting through like settings, like setting it at 1 minute. Oh my gosh, they set it at 1 minute.
Well, I think that's because that's the limit, right? Your mom was telling me that's the limit that you can do on the Apple iPhone. You can't completely block it, but you can limit it. So I think 1 minute is like the default.
Oh, why not like 2 hours? Like most of my friends have 2 hours.
Yeah. And it didn't work because what she does, this one is sneaky. She'll start stringing 1 minute, 1 minute until she get like 15 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So, I don't even know what was the point of that.
No, because every app, they always have like an additional 1 minute. So I would just like add 1 minute for each app. Because like I couldn't do anything in 1 minute.
So what is it? You use it and it'll say, okay, you've reached your limit, and then you can reset 1 minute?
Yeah, another 1 minute. I know, because I've always had to continue my streaks, and like streaks meant so much to me back then. So I was like, okay, I need to open all these snaps in 1 minute and then snap back in 1 minute.
Oh, I think the streak is probably the worst of them all.
Snap streaks?
I can't stand that thing. I don't even understand what it is.
It's so dumb. No, yeah.
Yeah, so dumb, but then you do it. We're sitting at dinner and I'm just like,
No. It's dumb, but it's like,
no,
it's like a thing that you just have to do.
Yeah, they create a lot of bizarre stuff these days. Beside, time limit. Oh, I remember after the screen limit wasn't working because we caught you so many times just constantly using 1 minute. I think your mom got like some type of lockbox, right?
Oh my gosh. So, okay, I have a big story about this one. Okay, so my mom, she was on TikTok, okay? Which is funny because like I'm on TikTok and she was taking away TikTok from me. But so my mom was on TikTok and she saw this other mom like promoting it, and was like, oh, like this, I'm gonna do this on my daughter, blah blah. And mom's like, this is such a good idea. And then she sends it to our family group chat. She's like, I'm gonna do this to Alyssa, and I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And then like initially she didn't do that, okay? But then she caught me on my phone when I was doing work. Okay? It was like she came in the wrong time. And so she bought it and it came in like a few days later and she's like, give me your phone. I'm like, what did I do now? What did I do now? She's like, no, it's like it's adding up. It's building up. I'm taking it now. And so it was horrible especially because like she would put a timer, and if she's like pissed off, she's gonna set the timer for 5 hours or something, and you cannot open it until 5 hours is up.
Yeah. So what this girl decides to do is want to start
What I do?
texting and reading her text through Siri.
That was only a few
Wow, I
times.
remember that. Your mom was like, "Can you
No.
believe this girl? I caught her over here screaming out Siri and reading her text through while it's locked in a box."
It was only a few times.
I don't even know if the audience have kids that are this defiant.
I am not defiant.
I mean, if your phone is taken away and you're still trying to access your phone, that's
For
wild.
5 to 7 hours.
That's wild.
Can't
Yeah,
a girl
5
get
to
a break?
7
Can't a
hours.
girl get a break?
5 to 7 hours is enough time to do your homework and all of that stuff, right? So, you know, we grounded her. We've set screen limit. That didn't work.
Honestly, none of it worked.
And then we locked it in a box. And I think the final straw was I came home one day thinking that I can do some work from home. And there was no internet.
Oh my gosh. I hate you. No, you just reminded me. You just reminded me. Okay, this lasted like 3 days tops, okay? My mom used like this other app. It's called like companion app or something. Don't get that for your kids. They got like this companion app thing, and it would like shut down my cellular data, so I couldn't like go on. Like my Wi-Fi wasn't working, and she got this idea because my friend, she has really strict parents, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, my mom turns off my internet at 11 p.m." But my mom decides to use it as like, "Okay, I'm just gonna turn it off when like you're not doing your work." So it was just like any time of the day, like it's gone, it's gone. And then yeah, and then so my dad came home one day, and my mom wasn't. I think my mom like messed with it completely, that she didn't even do it right, and she turned off like even hers and my dad's like cellular data, like the entire house Wi-Fi. And then my dad was so mad. He was like, "How am I supposed to do work?" Like, and then so like we were stuck because my mom couldn't undo it.
Yeah, I was asking her, I was like, aren't you supposed to just shut off her phone? Why are you shutting everybody's phone off?
She couldn't undo it.
And she's like, I don't know what I did. You know, this is too stressful dealing with this little girl. So now I can't even reverse it. Asking her how to turn it on. She doesn't even know how to turn it on.
Oh my gosh, I remember like while they were dealing with their own stuff, right? So wait, I don't even know if you know this. Like, should I even say it? Okay. I think
What?
you know. I think you know. It's like, okay, so before that, before he came home, right? I was on my phone, and I was literally like I was researching, like when I did have the Wi-Fi, I was researching on YouTube like that exact app. Yeah, you know, right? You know.
I know what you're
You
talking about.
know. So I was searching up that exact app, and I was like searching up how to undo that. And oh my days, like I actually like undid what she did, but only for me, okay? And then you would be so surprised, like, how many people or how many parents do that to their own kids, because there were so many views on that video.
Yeah, so this girl basically decided that she wanted to get into hacking because
It
she
wasn't
went on
hacking.
YouTube and figured out how to reverse it.
It wasn't even hacking.
So you guys,
They were like, "I can do this in 5 simple steps." And I'm like, "Oh."
what I want to know is who's the one doing these contents teaching you guys how to reverse.
It was an adult.
It was an adult.
It was an adult teaching us.
Good job, guys. Good job. Wow.
Anything to get views, to be honest. That's probably what they're thinking.
I mean, it's like, but why? Like, why do we have to go through all this? Like, why couldn't you just handle your business and then we wouldn't have to do any of these things? Can you please tell me?
I didn't handle my business.
You know, it's like if you were just,
I mean, I did my work at the end of the day. Like, I've never had a missing assignment.
sometimes it's not even just that, right? Sometimes it's like we see how late you are up at night studying right before the midterm, or it's just we see that you work hard. I mean, that was never the problem. It was just inefficiency. Like that was the biggest thing,
No, I agree. Like, I used to stay up so late, but I think that's because, like, I think that was, like, I've never ever had a bedtime, like, until, like, recently. But I've never had a bedtime. Like, ever since middle school, you guys were up working. So I'll be like, I'll be up with you guys.
Yeah, I have work. What do you have?
I was working, and then I was watching TV.
Yeah, right. You were watching TV, that's for sure.
No.
And then when we'll ask you, oh, I'm working.
Because when would I ever have free time, right? Like, if like you say, get my things done, watch TV at night, and then you complain that I'm up late at night.
Again, I think at the end of the day, the major problem is, when we see you're staying up late at night, as a young mind, you need to have your 8 hours of sleep. Um, and you're just not very efficient with your time. You're basically spending 10 hours on something that we feel should take no more than 4.
Right.
Right. And then, you don't get no exercise in. So I know that's a big thing for your mom, is trying to get you to do some
I get my
exercise.
exercise in sometimes,
Yeah, not consistently enough.
but I get it in.
Obviously,
He expects me to go on the treadmill 3 miles a day. Like, who has the time for that?
it's an hour, buddy. An hour. So I mean, and not only that, but it's like, we wanted to foster good discipline habits, right? Sometimes we feel that the 10 hour that you spend was just literally doing the task at hand. I mean, I tell you all the time, for me, my work is not done if I'm just doing the daily tasks, right?
Right.
To excel and succeed in my businesses, I have to do the task at hand. I have to review the work that was done for that day. Then I gotta look forward to the next day, the next week, the next month, right? And
Wait, what? You want me to go ahead?
you should be doing your task for that day as fast as you can.
The
You should
homework.
have enough time to review your work to make sure that you did it right.
I do that.
Then you should move on to the next day or the next week. Through your syllabus, you should already know what's coming up next. At least scratch the surface, touch it, so that when you have your lecture, when that day comes, you're already kind of prepared. You already know that's what a good student is, right? You'll be able to, soak it all in the moment that you're in that class. And then, of course, your mom wants you to be on the treadmill at least, an hour a day. Your health, because that all comes with it, right? If your mind and your health is good, everything comes easier. Why are you looking at me like that? We're exposing too much.
Yes.
This episode's, but it's cool. It's all right. I mean, we got to be vulnerable. We got to talk about it. And I think we've already passed all of those things anyway. So sometimes I guess it's good to be able to reflect a little bit and see, what we've done and why it didn't work, and even why we did it in the first place, right? I mean, sometimes you look at us like, oh, they're trying to exert their power.
Because you
They're
hate me.
evil. No.
No. You hate me.
If I hated you, I wouldn't have given you a phone, a TV, and all of the luxury things that you got. That's not hate, girl. Come on.
Girl.
There's a lot of people who don't have none of that stuff, and you do. So, we just want you to enjoy all the things that we've given you, but don't abuse it.
I just feel like there's not enough time in a day to be doing all that. Like okay, I come home, right? Come home, start work. It's 5:30, okay? And then I'm doing my homework, and then you expect me to do all these other things on top of it. And it's just like,
Hey, we're
like,
getting you ready for the world, man. I mean, that's life, right? You have so much that you need to do. Time is valuable. We want you to value your time, because you waste so much time. It's like, how do you focus on work and be efficient in work where you get a notification and you're responding in between all of your work every single time? There are times where I've seen you have Netflix open on one side and you're studying on the other side.
hypocrite! No! No. What is you at work? You at work and you got your little NFL up?
Hey, we're not talking about me right now. All right. I've earned, my the ability to watch my sports sometimes, which I do watch sports sometimes when I work.
Anytime it's on.
But I'm very efficient. That's the difference between, me and you. And I value my time. And that's all it is, right? Is trying to teach you to value your time, because you can't get that back. You know what I
No,
mean?
I get that.
And you can't get into a flow state and be ultra efficient and productive if you're being distracted every 5 minutes, right?
Okay.
For me, I mean, look, when you text me out recently, when you texted me, you got mad at me for not responding to you. Why? What do you think that is? It's because
Oh.
Yeah.
No, when I texted you, I was asking you for help though. I was like, "What do you think I should do for like what are the next steps?" And you literally left me on red.
It wasn't life or death, so I'm sorry. I was in the middle of work.
And then I called you, you didn't pick up.
Yeah, that's how much I value my time when I'm at work.
How do you
I want
know?
to get things
What if
done
I
so
was
I
in
can go home.
danger?
Okay, if you're in danger, you would have told me you're in danger. And I've mentioned this to you before many, many times, right? That you have to have blocks of time for you to focus on what you're doing and not ever be interrupted, right? Don't ever let anybody take your time away from you. For me, I know the first 15 minutes that you sit down and you do any task, you're not really doing much. You have to get into that, like I said, flow state. You got to get into that flow state so that, things start clicking. And I see that you never allow that because you're constantly being interrupted by your friends, responding. Oh, they have the kids these days, they have this thing called read receipt or not leaving on read. It is the most annoying thing ever.
You can't open a message and then not respond. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean.
It's just like paper is so sensitive nowadays. If you leave them on red, they'll think that you actually hate them. Like, why didn't you respond? And us in a generation where we always overthink, like it's really hard. Like,
I mean, look, I didn't respond to you and you got over it. Life moves on.
but it's like it's different. Like if you were like in mid conversation or anything, like
Okay, well, we're not talking about mid conversation. We're talking before the conversation even started.
no, it's just like okay, then just don't open it. If you open it, then you have to respond.
Okay, then don't open it. Why did you open it and then feel the need to respond?
Because I saw them text already.
You're at dinner or you're doing your homework. Somebody texts you. It's not that important. If you obviously can't read and then just leave it. I mean, do all the kids these days feel that, people don't have a life and they have to jump at every word that is sent to them?
No.
Then why do you guys act like that's the case?
Okay. Chill. Okay.
No, I'm just truthfully curious on why it is so hard to, value your time at, in this day and age.
No, okay. Now, as a senior, coming like applying to colleges and all that, I get it. I get what you mean. Like I really do.
3 years into your high school years, now you get it.
No, yeah. I really get it now. I really hear what you're saying. But back then, put yourself like in a freshman mind, okay? It's really hard to really know what your priorities and sense of focus is. And especially when you're getting to know people and you're trying to make friends, like you just feel like this.
I get it. When I was a freshman, I was probably 10 times worse than you. I'm gonna admit that, right? But the whole point is, as parents, we don't want to see you going through what we went through. We want you to be better, right? So that's why we're trying to do all of these different things just so that you can maybe skip the pain and suffering that we went through.
Can I say something?
What do you want to say?
I think okay, when you guys tell us about your stories and like, oh, this happened to us, like we just know what you have to do. We don't really know that, right? We don't believe you
Why?
until
Are
we
we
actually
liars?
experience it. No.
So you're basically telling the parents out there that they're screwed. That
No,
kids will just
okay.
have to go through it on their own to figure it out. There's nothing that we as parents can do.
I think it's just really hard to get what you want to align with what we want. And especially when we're so young in like high school, we're not that mature yet. We don't really know if that makes sense. If you're just nodding at me, like you're like, oh yeah,
I
this
hear
one's
you.
cuckoo.
I
You're just
hear,
looking at me like, yeah, this one's cuckoo.
I hear you, but I mean, your mom did tell me that she read an article that scientifically
My mom and her
teenagers have some
article.
type of, thing where when parents talk, it just blocks and you don't register anything that we say, which kind of is proven because there are so many times that we've told you so many things at such a young age, you didn't care. And then like 2, 3 years later, oh, dad, this is what my friend said. Da 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 da. I'm like, yeah, I've told you that. 3 years ago. If you'd listened to me, you would be so far advanced. So, yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying when you say, yeah, you guys, you know, don't listen or you don't believe us. I don't know. It is crazy because we're kind of young parents. We're not even old. It's not like we don't understand when we say we know what you're
Well, I think
going through.
it feels different because like different generations, like we we can't believe or expect you to know how we feel in certain situations.
So when I tell you, hey, it's better to just, get done with everything early so that you can buy back your time. What don't you believe about that?
No, that one I just don't believe because after that you want me to run, you want me
So
to.
it's because you don't want to do certain things. So then you choose not to believe.
No, that's what I said. I feel like we just have different, like our goals do not align.
Got you.
What you
Not
want for
goals,
us,
but I guess you mean like values. Our values don't align yet.
or like what you want from us is not what we want for ourselves.
Well, why not? Don't you want to be healthy? Don't you want to be fit? Don't you want to have a brain that functions and think fast? Like, so you don't believe that exercising is good for your brain? I mean, obviously, it's good for your health. Um, but you don't,
Rewind, rewind. Okay, to your point about goals, obviously everybody has goals. Okay, whether it be a small goal or a big goal. Like when we're little, we always had those like kindergarten, like, oh, what do you want to be in the future? People are like, oh, fireman, doctor, all that, right? Like we obviously have goals. We just don't know how to get there or when it's time to get there, you know? So we have it in the back of our mind, like, okay, that's what we want to do. We're just like, we're trying to find our own way to get to that path. Like, so when you just give us the solutions and the answers, you know, wait, wait, wait.
Excuse me? If we give you the solution and the answer,
No, no, no. Okay. When you this sounds so bad. No, no, no. You guys are giving
that's exactly what we think every single time we're like, does this girl hear herself?
no, no, you guys are giving us the solutions and answers, but we don't perceive them as a solution.
So what do you perceive them as? Fake?
Just things that you want us to do. Like we don't connect the dots like that. We don't.
So your brain is just incapable of seeing
No,
the answer.
stop.
Don't touch me with your dirty feet.
No, okay. It's like, oh man.
Oh man,
No, you get you.
your audience, like, I don't know if I want to listen to this girl's advice.
Okay, you get what I'm saying. It's like we just okay. We obviously have the same goals, just like in a bigger timeline.
You have
In a
goals.
bigger timeline. You guys want us to get things done fast, like retire fast, all that. We can't really know that until we experience it ourselves. You know what I mean?
What don't you see? I mean, growing up, there's always one thing that you've always said, which kind of breaks my heart,
Which
is
is?
you don't remember that there's nothing that you want on your birthday or Christmas other than my time, right? Growing up, I've always been so busy building all my businesses, working late nights, not here for dinner. If we're on a vacation, I'm bringing my laptop with me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you're like, Dad, how come you have to work so hard? Well, I'm telling you because I didn't value my time back then. I didn't start being serious about what I needed to do until later on in life, and that is the results. Is I probably didn't even listen to my mom, to be honest, when she said, "Hey, you need to do this." So for you, that's all we're trying to do is for you to, hey, look, you know, handle your business because there's gonna come a time where you're gonna have a kid of your own and you're gonna want to be done with school, stable in your career, and hang out with the family.
No, I get that. And like now as a senior, I really get that. But as a freshman, as a sophomore, we don't really think about our kids. We think about ourselves. We don't think about, okay, this time's going to go to our future selves. Or like, we just think like, oh, okay, what's good for us now? What do we want now? Like for our being, like, you know?
So is there anything that parents can do to freshman kids, middle school kids, or is
It's
it
got to
just
be something they want, not that we feel like that's forced upon us.
okay? So it sounds like they're just parenting is tough, man. You see this?
Honestly,
You see this?
just gaslight
Parenting.
them into thinking that's what they want. Just gaslight them.
And how do you do that? The audience kind of already heard all of the things that we've done that technically didn't work, right? All of the grounding,
Didn't.
all the authority figure actions that we did. I mean, like you said, this summer has been pretty good, right? Going into your senior year, I think you're starting to finally get it. I'm just curious, right? Does it have to be when it's gone to a little bit too late, or
Well, it's not.
at the nick of time, or is
I
there?
don't think it's late.
I don't think it's late, but definitely there are, this summer there's been a lot of conversation where you're like, I wish this, I wish that, I would have done this, I would have done that. Right? So it's
Yeah,
not
it's disappointing,
it's
honestly.
not too late, but
It's
you're
disappointing
putting pressure on yourself unnecessarily.
because we could have started earlier.
Right? So let's talk about what you think would work, right? Like how should people approach things? To get their teenagers to kind of be focused so that they don't have to do all the, screen time struggles and disciplines and things like that.
I think I've actually. Oh wait, so you know how I'm doing my speech on parenting as well. I've actually read something about this, or I watched a TED talk, right? By like I think Dr. Becky, I forgot her name, but she said like the first step to repairing like that disconnect between a parent-child relationship is to repair, and I feel like that means like you have to be able and be willing to open up and not put like those things aside. Like you got to be willing to accept like your faults and their faults and just be able to work through that together. And I feel like what most relationships, like not even parent child, like most relationships, some people don't like to admit fault or admit that they're doing something wrong. And I guess not everybody's perfect, right? There's mistakes in both sides of the relationship. And I feel like that you have to kind of like put yourself in the child's shoes and put yourself in the parent's shoes. Like parents are trying so hard and everything they can do. Like they're not trying to like they don't hate you, of course. Like I say that to you as a joke, but like I don't think you hate me. I think you want what's best for me, and I get that. But also as a child, like we don't really understand those type of things, and I feel like by coming at us in like a certain tone, it makes us feel like a certain way. Like when you think like, okay, you're right about everything and you're the authority figure, like you're right.
So that's interesting, right? Because in our household, I think I am, we're close. We're able to open up and discuss a lot of things, but I feel that I approach parenting a little bit more of a parent-child relationship. Your mother, on the other hand, is a little bit more best friend. So what is the better way, right? Because I feel that you kind of listen when it has to be hunkered down. I feel like you listen to me a little bit more because you feel that your mom, no matter what, is your best friend. So it's like it's all good.
There's a fine line between them.
So I mean, I'm able to admit fault. Maybe I could put myself in your shoes and be like, hey, you know what, you know, I wouldn't like to be approached in that manner, but it's so hard. As parents, we're busy. We got to worry about how to pay the bills. We got to worry about how to raise you. So when we see things that we don't like or, you shouldn't be doing, I guess it's hard, right? We just kind of snap and we're just like, hey, demanding things.
And even so, like I know you guys definitely feel something. So you guys told me like it's like this build up process, right? But you guys, but like you guys don't really tell us directly and straight up. You kind of just hint at it until you just go crazy.
Oh, so it's like, Alyssa, put your phone down.
No, no, no.
Alyssa, put
No,
your
no.
phone down.
There's a tone. There's a tone. You hear that tone? You hear that tone?
So now we got to come correct? Is that what you want us to do?
No, it's just like when you guys are telling us a certain thing, you gotta back it up with reason. Like you gotta be like, I just come to us like, oh honey, I feel like you keep doing this. Like I've been watching you and you haven't been doing the things that need to be done, and I feel like this can lead to that, or like and I feel like sometimes you just be like, Alyssa, put the phone away and do your work. And I feel like when he just tells that repeatedly, like, it doesn't really click. It doesn't really click until we have a reason, you know? Besides, like, you just being mean.
So parents, there's nothing you can do to change the child. You change yourself, which is actually truthfully a pretty good advice, to be honest, right? I think that I actually believe in that in business, and I believe that in relationship. I always say that, you control what you control, right? You don't expect the other person to change. And I guess as parents, maybe,
Like, I think how you come to us is how we'll react, and we'll react better.
I feel that we do, but maybe we don't do it good enough. Maybe, because I hear it all the time. Your mom is always like, Alyssa, this is the last warning. Alyssa, you're not doing this. And until it blows up, right?
And I'm just like, what happened? You just took my phone away.
Mhm.
And then I'm mad.
But she's like, you know what happened. And yeah, you know what? They actually don't know. So maybe there is
We a
specific
little slow.
tonality that kind of keeps them
It's
from.
like what you said about guys. Like, you just gotta come to a straight, because we can't guess what you want.
Exactly. So with you, obviously, we can't do that.
Exactly. It's like, that's kind of how we work.
So this summer, let's talk about this summer and how things came about, because this summer has been probably the most stress-free summer through your 4 years in high school. I mean, I was able to get you to do exactly what I
Stress-free for
wanted.
you or stress-free for me? Because it's not stress-free for me.
It was stress-free for me, but you've gotten so much accomplished in the last 3 months.
Still a little stressful.
I feel more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
So tell the audience a little bit about how that came about, where you kind of had your schedule. I feel for the most part, you put your phone down.
Okay, guys, what we did. Well, okay, so I came to my dad, right? It was like end of senior year, last few days, and I was like low-key feeling so down, right? And I come to my parents a lot. I would say I have a really close relationship I have a pretty close relationship to my parents. And so I was like, I'm just not feeling well. Like, we're applying to colleges. So many people have been thinking about it, where they want to go, what they want to do. And they just have so much that they did throughout high school. And I just felt a little behind. Like, not saying like I didn't do anything. I did things, but I just felt like a little behind compared to a lot of people. And I also just feel like I wasn't in the place where I wanted to be. Like I had goals, like, oh, I wanted to lose like this much weight, like I wanted to be healthier, like I don't drink water, I want to drink more water. And I just felt like a little down in comparing in the stage where I was comparing myself to everybody. And so I spoke that to my dad. And then he kind of sat down with me and spoke in a more friendly tone. Like he was like my therapist. Like, he was just there, like, trying, like, willing to work things out with me, which kind of goes back to the idea of repair. Like, he was being open and being willing to listen and hear me out, right? And we weren't shutting down each other's ideas. Like, we weren't just saying sorry or just saying something just to say it so the conversation can be done. I feel like we really sat down, we really discussed, like, what it was that I wanted, and he gave me suggestions. He told me, okay, if you want to lose weight, you got to do this. If you want to not be behind, you got to do this in the summer to catch up. And I felt like that's when I really heard him. And that's when I felt like the first time he actually heard me. And I feel like when we sat down, we discussed together what my goals were and then also what he wanted for me. And that's how I guess like those goals that we had aligned.
But I also think that the key for me was, I mean, we've had similar conversation. I think the key also was, I asked you, do you really want it? I can help you, but you would have to trust in me.
Oh yeah, no, he looked threatened me. He was like, "My way or the highway. You don't listen to me, I'm done. I'm not listening to your whining, bro. Like, you do it, cause I'm giving you what to do, and if you don't do it, then I don't know what to tell you." And that was like, it looked, he just hits me like, okay, if he thinks he knows what he's doing, why don't I just fully trust him? Like, I feel like before I didn't really trust him. Like, I kind of that's kind of what we were talking about. But I think I just like I took that leap of faith, and I was like, if he says this is gonna get me where I want to be, just listen, right? Like, why wouldn't you listen, right? And I was like, and then so I guess like we sat down, we discussed that, and I feel like that really worked.
And basically, I put a plan together, which is the same thing that we harp every single instance of what we didn't like. But it allowed me to, I guess, be that mentor, or, I basically told her, I'm going to treat you like my employee.
We set a schedule down, like,
This is what I require. This is what I expect. And I told her, if you just do this, I believe you can get to, wherever it is that you want to go.
yeah, we put a schedule, like a 9 to 5, 9 to 6 schedule together. Like, it was a work day. And then we actually set, like, certain breaks, certain lunch periods. And if you miss it, like, out, done.
Yeah, no.
3 warnings,
I
you're
was
out.
that close to just saying, hey, this girl just got to figure it out on her own. I mean, there's nothing that we can do.
He was like, sometimes you just gotta let them fail.
Yeah, so I mean, I think this time I put her on, a 9 to 5 schedule, and told her, hey, if you need to do your SATs in this block, you need to do your college apps in this block, you're gonna work on your ECs in this block, and then you got to do some self growth in this block.
Yeah,
right?
like, with comes what I wanted. It was a little bit of what he wanted as well. Like, he wanted me to listen to the self-growth podcast, read, like, 10 pages, which was pretty reasonable. It was really reasonable, actually. Like, 10 pages of a book a day of, like, and I felt like we were able to work out that, and it was pretty helpful. I've actually enjoyed listening to some of the podcasts, actually reading those books, and I felt like it's just what you guys your goals and what you guys want have to align. If they don't align, I feel like it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So, I think all in all, what we can take away from this is, it sucks as parents, right? We don't want to hear that, oh, we got to find the right opportunity to, give our teachings. We, as parents, we feel that we should just be able to teach it however way that we want to, when we want to. But there's definitely a magic in when you should do it or how you should do it, right? When you do it out of anger, chances are it doesn't work, right? For this girl,
For this girl,
you ground her, and she actually doesn't even do what you want her to do. I mean, she falls asleep. Like that is
that's
the
not purposely.
that is
He
the
keeps
weirdest
using that
thing.
against me.
We'll take her phone away, thinking that, okay, now she's gonna have to focus on her work, and we'll go back in her room and she's knocked out. Like,
It's not purposely, guys.
it's like without her phone, it's like withdrawal symptoms. She got to go through her 5 stages of grief. So it doesn't work. And then you do certain things. I mean, kids are going to be kids. They're going to try to find ways to maneuver around it, and it only pisses you off even further, right? And it escalates the situation, right? So, I mean, I guess in a way, I mean, you got your choice, right? You can be the, I guess, old school parenting. Hey, my way or the highway. I pave. You live under my roof, so you got to follow my rules. I found through the years that you end up expanding way more energy that way, and I think, you know, finding the right time to communicate, treating them like an adult and saying, hey, you came to me for help. If you need my help, I'm willing to help, but you got to trust, right? You got to trust me. And if I give you some ideas, give it a chance, right? Don't shut it down. Don't think that it's dumb. Don't think that it's not going to work. Just give it a chance. And once you start building that type of connection and understanding and trust, I think it opens up the doors for so much more, right? And I think we're starting to be kind of in that realm where now I can start interjecting a little bit, and she's like, "Oh, okay,
Like, it makes sense.
I'll give it a try," right?
But not only, like, does it help get and reach your goals, I feel like that really helps build the relationship as well. I feel like we've had a closer relationship lately, and more than we had in, like, the past 3 years.
I know your mom's like, "Oh, you just stole her away. I did everything, and you came in. Now she's listening to you more than me."
Yeah.
So if anything out of this episode, hopefully, our goal always is to have real fun conversations and point out all the mistakes or things that didn't work, and hopefully find that one thing that does work in our household, so that maybe you guys can take and try to implement it and build strong relationship with your kids, and in getting to the goals of every parent is, you know, getting their child to be more mature and more responsible, and having a good relationship.
Yeah, it's a long process, but
Yeah, so we probably went on a little bit, gave you all the dramas about our household. So I think we'll wrap it up here, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it and got a lot out of it. Until the next one.
can't wait for that.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning into Parenting Untapped. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to follow and subscribe wherever you listen so you don't miss the next one. Want to gain even more valuable insights into understanding and connecting with your teens? Then head on over to parentinguntapped.com and subscribe to our email list for exclusive updates. Until next time, see you later.